Walt Disney World's Epcot is currently undergoing its largest expansion yet. Many details have been released to the public regarding the new rides and attractions this park will be receiving over only the next couple of years. But for here, we'll venture off into the next decade. So for today, let's take a look at what's on the horizon for Epcot. Do keep in mind that everything I'm about to say here is not confirmed by the Walt Disney Company, it's just my personal take on what I believe will open and close in the next 10 years at Epcot. Obviously, most of this will likely not happen, but it's always fun to try and predict the future in the theme park industry. Now with that said, let's get into it. In 2021, we received Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, a clone of the 3D trackless dark ride from the Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris, France. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure was originally supposed to open in the summer of 2020 at Epcot. However, the ride was ultimately delayed due to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on the amusement industry. Next up for 2022, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This is a family-launched spinning coaster themed to, well, the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. This attraction features the first ever backwards launch on a Disney coaster and is also one of the longest enclosed roller coasters in the entire world. It's expected to have over 5,500 feet of track, multiple launch and boost sections, and will also include 2 pre-shows, one with Rocket Raccoon and Groot. We should be expecting an official opening date from Disney themselves fairly soon, so make sure you subscribe to this channel so you'll know all the details once they're out. One more thing for late 2022, the Connections Cafe and Eatery will be opening up to guests, which is located next to Club Cool and the Creations Shop. This is basically the replacement for the old quick service restaurant, the Electric Umbrella, which closed in early 2020 right before the park shut down. 2023. This will be the recovery year for Disney from the financial effects of the pandemic on their business and park expenditures. Currently, the entire center area of Epcot is a construction site, with the old Future World East and West lands being transformed into 3 mini-lands: World Discovery, World Celebration, and World Nature. World Discovery occupies the space where Test Track, Mission Space, and the Cosmic Rewind coaster opening later this summer will be. This area is almost complete in terms of current construction. Then there's World Celebration, which includes Spaceship Earth, Journey into Imagination with Figment, and basically the central hub of the park. This area is a little farther behind in terms of its construction. Personally, I don't even think it'll be fully open to guests even in 2023. Finally, there's World Nature, which includes the Seas with Nemo and Friends and the Land Pavilion with Soarin' Around the World and the Living with the Land boat ride. In 2023, I think the Journey of Water inspired by Moana walkthrough attraction will finally open to the public. Current rumors have this attraction opening sometime later this year, but guys, this is the construction site. If Disney somehow pulls this off this year, mad props to them. Journey of Water is described as a whimsical garden featuring interactive fountains and other water features. And to tie into the overall theme of Epcot, this attraction will have some educational value in terms of teaching guests about the water cycle and how water sustains our world. So to recap, 2023 is basically the Future World Hub Overhaul Phase 1, which includes finishing up any last bits of construction over at World Discovery, opening Journey of Water inspired by Moana in the World Nature area, and keep moving on the construction in World Celebration. For 2024, I think the Play Pavilion in World Discovery will finally open. This thing was supposed to open in 2021 in time for the resort's 50th anniversary, but we all know what happened by now. COVID shut the parks down, and it's still not open. The Play Pavilion is being described as an interactive city where guests will be able to mix and mingle with their favorite Disney and Pixar characters. Looking a little farther into that, it'll basically be Disney's replacement of Innoventions, where there will be many interactive exhibits and such, just this time with more IP, that being intellectual property such as Wreck-It Ralph and Big Hero 6, just to name a few. There's also rumored to be some sort of small monorail attraction in this building when it opens. So that's the Play Pavilion. We don't know too much about it yet, but from what we do know, it looks like it'll be one of the best additions to Epcot in the last decade. Furthermore, in 2024, I think this will be the year when the Future World Overhaul will be complete. I'm talking about World Celebration. Obviously, from 2022 to 2024, areas of World Celebration would open in phases, such as the Dreamer's Point, which is the statue of Walt Disney. This small attraction would probably open years before, say, whatever Disney is currently planning to do with that cancelled or scaled back festival building. Obviously, we will have to wait and see what Disney does with this area. It's a large space, so I really hope they utilize this land to its full potential. Whether that's just for additional restaurants or even shops, I just want something there rather than a bunch of trees and topiaries. So for 2025, this is the year where we start getting into unknown territory, if you will. Disney hasn't announced everything Epcot has in store for us, so now it's time to think up some original concepts, maybe look back in the past and bring some ideas to the modern times. After a huge future world overhaul, Disney would probably want to spend a little less money on Epcot for the following years, probably turn their attention in park expenditures towards their other 3 parks at the Walt Disney World Resort. So how about something to replace the Disney Pixar Short Film Festival? This attraction is basically irrelevant now since everything the show has to offer, that being 3 short films played on a big screen, can already be found on Disney+, which most people going to Disney World will already have, especially by 2025 at the rate Disney Plus subscribers are growing by the day. So we need to replace this theater with a new show. There were always rumors of Inside Out taking over the Imagination Pavilion, and while I don't think a full takeover would be smart, a little incorporation of that IP into this theater space would work nicely. It could be a 3D animated show done by Pixar, around 10 to 15 minutes long, where you, the guest, would quote-unquote be inside Riley's head. The show could have some educational aspect about all the different emotions and how they inspire imagination or something along those lines. A name for the show could be something original like Inside Out and Imagination Adventure 3D, or the more likely option, Disney just uses the already trademarked name of Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind, which is the flat ride located on Pixar Pier at Disney's California Adventure. 2026. Again, Disney would not want to spend a lot of money on a new high-tech dark ride or roller coaster this year, but maybe a smaller ride of sorts. There was that Mary Poppins Cherry Tree Lane mini-land expansion planned for Epcot ready to start construction, and then COVID. To make matters worse, when the parks opened back up, Disney issued a statement basically saying that the Mary Poppins area would be indefinitely postponed. Many people jump to conclusions and assume that's Disney speak for cancelled. However, I don't believe that's the case here. No idea ever goes away at Disney. The company loves to look back into their vault and utilize previous concepts transformed to fit the modern world. The rumored attraction for this Mary Poppins area would have supposedly been an indoor highly themed carousel. Now, knowing Disney, they would either make this the largest carousel of all time, or split the attraction into 2 separate physical rides to increase capacity, similar to how Dumbo the Flying Elephant at Magic Kingdom currently operates. This Mary Poppins merry-go-round, if you will, would really help add another child-friendly ride to the park and just help the ride lineup substantially. Not to mention, this would finally give World Showcase yet another attraction after that 33-year gap between rides from Maelstrom and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. For 2027, my idea kind of falls into the same scenario as what happened with the Mary Poppins area. Spaceship Earth was set to close in May of 2020 for a major refurbishment that would have completely rewritten the ride's history, pun intended. But the parks closed that March, so Spaceship Earth never closed down for its refurbishment. And when the parks reopened later that summer, Disney made the decision to keep the ride open the way it's been running all these years. So, just like Mary Poppins, Disney has stated that the Spaceship Earth refurbishment is indefinitely postponed. With 2027 being the park's 45th anniversary, I think the main ride, the one everyone sees when entering the park, I think a refurbishment of Spaceship Earth on the park's 45th anniversary would be a great addition for that year. For this 10-year plan, what I'm about to say for 2028 can also partially occur in 2027. Let me explain. Currently, during the Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, the company is running this celebration over the course of 3 separate years, from October 1st, 2021 to early 2023. That's 18 months for a celebration that's actually just 1 day long. Let's say Disney wants to use this sort of marketing strategy again, where they prolong a certain event over the course of multiple years, such as the 45th anniversary of Epcot. One key intention regarding Epcot from Walt himself was that he said he wanted to keep the park always up to date, changing with the times of modern technology and innovation. Obviously, that hasn't really happened all these years, with most of the park's attractions being significantly outdated for the current time we're in. So how about Disney does a sort of dark ride refresh over the course of 2027 and mainly 2028? We already have Spaceship Earth down, which could open back up again on the 45th anniversary of Epcot. Then say in early 2028, Disney opens back up a newly refurbished version of the Grand Fiesta Tour. Same story, no Coco nonsense, just a good old-fashioned large-scale refurbishment. It can include updated animatronics, screens, and just breathe new life into the attraction with certain elements of newly discovered theme park technology that isn't available to us in this current day and age. Then say at the start of the summer that year, the Seas with Nemo and Friends opens back up its doors with the same thing happening there. A large-scale refurbishment that would make the ride one of the best dark rides in the park in terms of its theming and technology. Then finally, on Epcot's 46th anniversary, 1 year from Spaceship Earth opening back up its doors, ended off with Living with the Land. That ride is in desperate need of some love, especially during those awesome dark ride portions towards the start of the ride. Now this idea is extremely far-fetched, but just wait till you see what we have up next, then you can clown on me some more. 2029, I think it's time. A new World Showcase Pavilion. We have a lot of options here, ranging from Africa to Brazil and everywhere in between. But one country never seems to go away when mentioning a World Showcase expansion: Spain. Now a couple questions. 1. Where would this land go? Well, the biggest plot of land around World Showcase available to expand upon is where the current outpost section is. The area here is around 150,000 square feet, so that's more than enough space to fit another World Showcase Pavilion. Now, the next question is, what would the land include in terms of attractions and experiences? How would the land even be structured? Well, it rains a lot in Florida. How about we get another one of those indoor World Showcase pavilions like what we have over in Mexico? Here's some old concept art of a potential planned Spain pavilion, and it looks like it would have had a pretty large building facade. Think of this as a modern take on Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, where it's kind of like an indoor city that never sleeps. Now for the attractions, honestly, I would love a ride here, like an original IP themed to something in Spain, similar to how Mystic Manor at Hong Kong Disneyland was a new concept dreamt up solely from the Imagineers and not a famous movie studio. However, nowadays, Disney doesn't really do original IP rides for their parks anymore. So obviously, if I built a Spain pavilion, I would do some sort of ride. But for now, how the Disney Company currently runs its parks, they would probably exclude a physical ride from the pavilion. Instead, they would likely opt for some sort of stage show or live performance, several restaurants, and several shops. And we're talking a lot of restaurant capacity for Epcot, especially if Disney actually uses all the space they're able to work with. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a table service, quick service, snack stand, bar, and even more. Alright, 2030, time for some fun. Let's go wild on this one, shall we? Everyone loves Figment, obviously. But here's the thing. Everyone loves Figment as a character. Not everyone loves the Figment ride. There have always been some rumors as of late about something happening over at the Figment attraction, whether that be an Inside Out retheme or something else. How about a trackless dark ride that brings back the Dreamfinder? Gut the whole ride building, remove ImageWorks if you have to, remove the second floor of the building if you even have to. We know Disney can work on multiple floors with trackless dark rides. Make an original storyline that involves Figment, the Dreamfinder, just make it so wacky but very wholesome at the same time. And remember, this is 2030 we're talking about. Technology will have improved significantly by then. Who knows what kind of crazy theme park tech we have coming for us this decade. For now though, I'd love a high-tech animatronic Dreamfinder. Not a lot of screens, let's focus on the physical sets more please, and just give Epcot that Rise of the Resistance style attraction that blows everyone away. Not only on the theming and technology, but storytelling too. Well, there we have it folks. Obviously this plan will not happen, it's just fun to try and guess the future of theme parks, that's all. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of my plan and then share yours. I read every comment and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Also stay tuned later this month. A highly anticipated series is finally making its return with a video you don't want to miss, trust me. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you guys out on the horizon. The Theme Park Horizons.